my god, what a mess.
This will be a fly by the seat of your pants
Yeah,
episode.
we're live. I just,
Nice.
just, I just can't. I can't with this anymore. The stress is just too much for me. All right, everybody, welcome to the show. This is Alt Nerd Obsessive. I am your host, Movan Helvita. With me, as always, the man of the hour, the Tower of Power, the limo driving, baby kissing, woman stealing. I don't know what I can never remember that whole spiel. But anyway, we got H with us, and we've got a guest with us today. Holy moly! Look at that! Look at that! So surprised by having a guest today that I actually censored myself. Plus, I realized that it's not quite long enough into the YouTube video where I won't be demonetized. So I wanted to make sure that didn't happen. Anyway, we have got from Retrofuturism 101, the man, the myth, the legend, Michael Knight.
Hello. Good to be here on the Alt Nerd Obsessive
Yeah,
podcast.
man.
This is great.
What's up, nerd?
What is up,
What's up,
nerds? Oh my gosh. Yeah,
be
it's
here.
great to have you. So me and you go back kind of a ways now at this point.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of how many years it's been since I dropped off a bin of VHS
Dragon
tapes
Ball
to
Z
your little house in
VHS.
Connecticut.
Back when I lived,
It was a
back when I
while
lived
ago,
in a
man. It was a
tiny
while
little
ago.
cottage.
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that place, man. That was without a doubt the most creative and productive I have ever been in my life. So
It looked like a cozy
it was a
little place.
cozy little place, except when deers would tap their antlers on my kitchen window at 3 o'clock in the morning and scare the ever loving shit out of me. Oh my god.
Yes, I have heard stories of the tiny cottage.
That's wilderness living for you.
Yeah. It was real fun during all those snowstorms. Uh, so as previously mentioned, you are the host of Retrofuturism 101. Why don't you give my my audience of none a quick little rundown of what exactly is Retrofuturism 101?
All right. Yeah, I think I could do that. Retrofuturism 101 is an 80s inspired synthwave variety program that airs every Friday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And we specialize in the art of slinging the synth, my friend.
Slinging the synth.
Synthwave. Yeah. I don't know how deep I need to dive into the explanation of what synthwave is, but I'm happy to do so if anyone needs
I
it.
mean, let's give the elevator pitch.
Sure. Oh wow. I don't know if there is an elevator pitch. To be quite honest.
This elevator pitch brought to you by the sweet, refreshing flavors of RC Cola. RC Cola.
Didn't even know they still made it. Man. Come on.
Oh yeah, they sure.
I don't think I can get it up here.
Yeah, come on, man.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
it. If you've
still
got
here.
a Dollar General near you, you've got access to the sweet, refreshing flavor of RC
All
Cola.
right.
Not
I'm gonna look for it because I have been wanting to find some.
not sponsored.
Let me tell you, me and my RC aren't going anywhere.
Is that an old
Yeah.
tagline? Nice. I should have. I guess I
Yeah.
did.
I am. What I'm really hoping will happen is at some point RC will watch this show and be like, "Give that guy $1 million." You know,
Yes.
but it's not going to happen.
And a smaller $1 million. for
Right?
me.
Exactly.
Boy. Okay, so yeah, it's not quite an elevator pitch, but I guess the best way that I could describe synthwave music is as if you recorded a new original 80s style song today. But there's all kinds of, as with any genre of music, there's all kinds of subgenres. There's dark wave, horror synth, chill wave, synth pop.
love me some synth
But
pop.
we run the gambit on Retrofuturism 101. We've got specialty segments for a few different types of a few different of the subgenres.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie. Most Fridays I'm not around. So So I don't generally tend to be able to check it out, but every now and again I'll pop it on if usually for background music or whatever for whatever I'm
Sure.
doing. And I've encountered episodes for dark synth. I really liked that episode,
Yep.
or at least the episode I watched. What else did we see? I think you were kind of going hard on synth pop one night that I was
Hmm.
watching, and I love synth pop. That shit's fucking great.
Yeah.
It
It's
is. It's
catchy. Really,
that's
really
what it
catchy.
is. It's like all the catchiness of pop music with that really fun synth music in the background. So you
Yep.
get all of those heightened melodies, but everything still sounds super ethereal, and it's just kind of gorgeous.
Agree. Yeah. Yeah. The three specialty segments that we do every week. Towards the beginning of the show, we do a segment called Swill and Chill, which is always unofficially sponsored by some kind of a cheap beer. But we play during that segment more, chill wave, chill synth. There's a few artists. If you were to Google up, Hotel Pools is one of my favorite artists that we play a lot during Swill and Chill. It's just it's
Right.
lo-fi, kind of vaporwave. Again, there's a lot of subgenres even within the chill synth subgenre. It gets pretty ridiculous,
It's
if I could be
amazing
honest with
because
you.
I will watch uh, compilation videos of
Yeah,
of certain synth waves, and they can all have a million different names, and half of them sound exactly the same. In fact, half of them have the same
yeah.
songs on them. So it's like, okay, so is
Mm.
this vaporwave? Is this chill wave? Is this chill synth? Is this, but
Hmm.
it's all the same stuff. Like
Hmm.
really the only ones that really kind of I'm not insulting the genre. I like the genre quite a bit,
No, of
but
course not.
I feel like the only ones that really stand out are like dark synth and horror synth. Like the stuff
Yeah,
that has that super moody broodiness
yeah.
of that sort of genre combined with synth. You know, yeah,
Yep. Yep. The thing and the thing with synthwave right now too is there's one of the big memes amongst the community right now is synthwave is dead is the hashtag, because I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the scene itself is it's starting to become a little bit
sure,
oversaturated. A lot of the artists sound the same. Even a lot of the artists that have been around for a while, they're not really doing anything different. So I think going into like the next chapter of synthwave, the ones that survive are going to be the ones that start doing things a little bit
sure.
different. Because right now a lot of it is very, very, very similar.
Do you
Um,
ever toy with what is it called? Like Plunder Wave, Plunder Core, or something like that.
no, I've never heard of it
So
actually.
the idea is they see. I've always called it what the hell did it has another name, and I'm trying to think of what the hell it's called. But like it's essentially the equivalent of like a found footage film if it were music. Like
Interesting.
they it's found audio,
Yeah.
and they'll take that and make songs out of it. There's a lot of bands who can be anywhere from goofy stuff like the Bran Flakes, who wrote an entire song just using that famous David Lee Roth soundboard. You know the one I'm talking about, like all of his fucking act
Yeah, I think
outtakes
so.
from Running with the Devil. You know,
Yeah.
yeah, they wrote a song called Van Pop with that, which fuck I should just play. It's fucking hilarious. And then they wrote an entire song about Don Knotts, just with I mean the only lyrics of the song are Don Knotts.
Wow.
And that
Nothing wrong
nothing
with
wrong
that.
with that. And then it goes to more glitch hop type stuff. Like there's a band called Junk Culture, who has a song called West Coast that gets stuck at that. I actually used it once to describe how my brain works when I'm not you know, when I'm not actively thinking, because like it's true. It's just this sound is just what my brain does, you know.
Yeah.
And in fact, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull up the old YouTubers now, and
While you're doing that, the way you were explaining that was reminding me of one of my favorite kind of chill wave, vaporwave, future funk artists is a guy named Tupperwave. He's out in Australia. He just, I think last year released an album called Hooked on Aesthetics, and a bunch of the songs have like samples pulled from the 1986 Crystal Light National Aerobic Championships.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Uh-huh. It's very, very quirky and cool and interesting, but the album is fantastic. The beats are insane. It's great.
That's amazing. Van Pop. Here, I'll play this. This is going to be a very music heavy show. So anybody who's watching, just to let you know, yeah.
Very good.
Can you all hear this?
I cannot.
Are you guys in my? Oh right, I'm not streaming it on here. Anyway, the audience can hear this. Sorry guys. Actually, you know what? No. Here's what I'm gonna do. You guys don't need to see that window. You guys can see this window. Bing bang boom. All right, I fixed it for them.
There we go.
The rest of you guys don't get to see it, but you can hear it. All right, you ready? Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
This is test take. Take 3.
I can't help but laugh that I brought you on to talk about synthwave, and synthwave, and immediately took over with fucking like Plunderware.
Hey man, like we said, fly by the seat
Exactly,
of your pants
exactly.
tonight, Oh gosh. That is great.
And the best part is that if you hate it, it's 2 minutes long. So
Yeah.
I can get in this.
Wow.
musically, this is my favorite part. It's very like, you know. Oh God! Anyway, that's the whole song. No God, no. We're not starting a new song.
Dang YouTube.
Fucking YouTube. No, it was my fault. I went to go shut it off and I clicked on it. All right. I'm not gonna play this whole song. I'm just gonna play like a snippet of it so you can see how my brain works when I'm not thinking.
Junk culture.
It's a good band. Well, band. It's one guy. We're almost to the part where I want to show you because this is there's a repeating sound in the background, and that's the part that's really my brain. Like this part not so much, but it's
Good
yeah,
beat,
it's a good
though.
beat. I like that glitchy. This part I'm talking about. This is my brain just all the time. just forever screaming into the void. Anyway, that's all I wanted to play of that. Yeah,
Love it.
good stuff. All right, let's get back to you. Let's focus on the guest because I'm a terrible host. All right. How long have you been actively doing this for now? Because it feels like it really feels like you've been doing this forever.
Yeah, it's been a while. Actually the 5-year anniversary of the creation of the show is this coming
Nice.
May. The first 2 years I did it on WZBC out here in
Right.
Boston on the school station. And then when COVID hit, I was getting ready to do it again for the spring and the summer because that was typically when I was
Right.
doing it. And then COVID hit and everything shut down. And I saw some other DJs. I'll give them shouts out right now. Chef Tom, who's my homeboy now, and this guy Faith in the Glitch, who's based out of New York. They were just doing DJ
Right.
sets, you know. And I thought to myself, you know what? I could probably do a version of my show on Twitch, and just add a little bit of a visual element
Sure.
to it. So my wife cut together a bunch of gifs for me to use as my visuals while I played my music.
Nice.
And the first couple of shows were very uh, they were very basic. I was streaming at that time off of a 2008 MacBook, so it was barely able to handle the
Right.
stream. The thing was like nuclear hot after I would get done doing the
Yeah,
show.
my first couple of streams were off of a 2011 MacBook Pro, and
Yeah, it was
yeah,
brutal.
it was not good.
Yeah. So I upgraded. I just all my streams I do off of a gaming laptop
Right.
now. Just a real basic Acer model that I like got at BJ's or whatever. I still have my Mac. That's where I run all my music off of. I use the DJ Pro app
Nice.
to run all the music. And I have the Mac and my microphone running through a mixer, and then the mixer feeds into my streaming PC, and that's how I do it. So the show's evolved over the years. We've got a pretty steady contingent of listeners and viewers every week. Um, at least 50 people tune in at some point throughout the 2 hour show.
You know what they say about Twitch, and this I find this absolutely fascinating. If you can get 5 concurrent viewers, you are
Yeah.
in the top 1% of Twitch. Yeah, that's
crazy.
fucking crazy. Like, you know,
Yeah.
we're 5 episodes into this, and I think we've gotten 5 total live views.
Oh man, I feel like I was lucky because I had a decent amount of people that listened on the
Sure.
FM, that listened to the FM broadcast and followed me on social media, and so they knew that I was going to be starting to do the Twitch thing. Initially, it was like the same 20 to 25 people for like a year and a half, and now it's like an all new 20 to 25 people that tune in every week with the same maybe 5 or 10 that have been there since the beginning, which is
Yeah.
great. Never intended this to do it to like make any money or anything like that, but I hit affiliate pretty quickly. And so the show brings in a little bit of cash, but it all goes towards buying music, to keep the show, as I like to say, fresh as a daisy week to
Sure.
week. Because I feel like the new music helps to keep people coming back.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And my curation skills, you know what I mean?
No, I will admit there is an art. Like, even if you're just making a playlist, there is an art to making
Yeah.
a playlist, and
Yep.
I have to admit. So I used to I don't want to say I used to DJ. I didn't. I used to curate playlists to go and play at venues. You know, like I wasn't like spinning records or anything like that. I had a tiny little MIDI controller that I used, and basically it was just,
Yeah.
it was just playing a list off of, off of my laptop.
Yeah.
And every now and again it would be about listening to the crowd and changing it up based on what they might want to hear. Like if you've got a hot thing going, and you've previously decided that that was the time to cool it off, it's like, well, then, okay, maybe I'll jump to my next couple of hot songs, to keep it going. But,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, for the most part, it was just playing a playlist, and that shit got hard. And like, I wasn't
Mhm.
doing that every week. I was doing that every, like once a month tops,
Yeah.
Um, so kudos to you. Even if it's just creating a playlist, that shit takes a certain ear and a certain amount of talent. So yeah,
It's the thing that I look forward to the least, if I can be honest about the show. Like because I usually put it off until like Thursday night, which is, the night, but sometimes I'll wait till Friday morning because a lot of the new music gets released on Friday. Everything that I get for the show, I get off of Bandcamp.
right,
That's where 99% of the artists showcase their music through
sure,
Bandcamp and their Bandcamp pages. And every now and again, Bandcamp will throw them a bone and do a Bandcamp Friday, and so all the money that's made from their music that's purchased that day, they get all of it. Bandcamp doesn't take a
right,
portion, which is
yeah,
awesome, which is way better than Spotify or any of the other,
for sure,
whatever. Um, so yeah, a lot of times I wait till the last minute to do it. Once I get into a groove though, like my first and foremost, I look for my three songs for Swill and Chill. I look for my three songs for the couple skate segment in the middle, which is the more kind of like slow jam synth poppy type
mm-hmm,
stuff. And then I'll throw on my dark synth tunes that I do at the end of the show. There's usually about four
mm.
of them. As soon as I get those out of the way, then I just start picking and choosing from submissions. I'll get a lot of submissions from artists throughout the week. A few of the record labels will send me stuff week to week. And at that point, I'll start picking and choosing from those and just filling out the rest of the playlist. And I just I've learned over the years that there are certain times where people are more likely to tune in than not. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? Um, right at the beginning is a big one, and then I would say maybe about 45 minutes to an hour into the show is a big spot, and then right before my dark synth section is where a lot of people start to tune in too. So I've learned to kind of fill those spots with, I guess maybe the best stuff I guess I
the
have for them.
bangers,
Yeah, the bangers, the rippers, the ones that really slap, like the kids
yeah,
like to say these
the
days, to get the tunes
the
that really
ones that are
slap.
bussing.
Um, yeah, but it's constantly evolving. I would say the biggest struggle over the years has been finding new viewers and new audience members that haven't tuned in yet, because you can only do so much on social media as far as the
And it's
promotion
gotten
is
so much
concerned. So
worse too. Like I don't know,
yeah,
I
it's
don't know
bad.
if you've,
My stuff doesn't show up on anyone's timelines
yeah,
anymore. I'm
yeah,
sure.
you know,
It's
we
terrible.
so we created the Facebook page for this show at like, what was that, like week 2 H?
Mm.
I believe we already had 3 episodes
Okay.
out when we did
So
that.
so week 3, we do that, and with the first 2 days we got nothing. Like
Yeah.
not even a trickle. And we're like, okay. And both of us had shared it on our personal pages, and I shared it in the No Budget Nightmares group.
Yep.
Um, you know, and then I'm like, all right, well, fuck it. I'm just gonna fucking send invites. I'm gonna do that obnoxious thing that people do on Facebook where they send invites to your fucking page. I get 15 of them a day, usually from the same person who for some reason makes pages constantly. But you know, um, and even then, like, so that went out to like 400, 500 people just from me, and I think
Yeah.
we're up to like 15. you know, it's yeah,
It's a slow go,
it's a
man.
really
It's
hard process.
requires a lot of persistence and and a lot of like being annoying.
Yeah,
Essentially,
exactly.
if you want to grow your presence on
Yeah,
social media these days, it's really
there's
tough.
and you know, my fucking introverted ass is like, I don't want to bother people. I don't want to bother
Mm,
people. I just want people to magically show
I
up.
know. It
Also,
would be so much easier.
the problem too with Facebook is a lot of Facebook groups don't allow you to promote
It's true.
things. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, how am I supposed to get the word out about this thing that I'm
Yep.
doing if I can't promote it?
And that was actually one of the big things for the No Budget Nightmares group was we wanted people to promote their shit. So it's like, you
Mm,
know, not that we actively tell people, hey, feel free to come promote your stuff, but you know,
yeah.
like anything that goes through for review, with the exception of the weird bots that are oddly obsessed with Bruce Willis's death. Uh,
Jesus Christ.
we get like 3 of those a day, you know.
My
Rip to
goodness.
an absolute legend. I can't believe he succumbed to cancer or something like that, you know. And I was like, stop! It's so shady,
Uh,
you know. But yeah, no, we let you know, as long as it's, you know, micro budget film related, we let anybody do their thing.
yeah.
Man, so 5 years.
Yeah.
That's
Yep. Yep. Three on Twitch in 5 years, just in
that's
general.
fucking wild.
I know. It went pretty
Yeah,
quickly. And I'll be honest, there have been times throughout the years where I've just kind of been like, is it even worth it to me to do this anymore? Like, do I enjoy it
right.
enough? And those days are few and far between, but on some occasions when maybe the numbers aren't as high as they had been the week before, I'm just kind of like, what am I doing? But then I think about the people that subscribe to the channel, the ones that do come back every
Right.
week and watch and listen. I think about the people that showed up to my live event that I had last year that were listeners that are from the area, and they showed up, and I was like, holy smokes, I can't believe it.
People exist.
So yeah, right. Oh man, it was super funny because one of the kids that listens to the show, he showed up to the event and he was wearing a Retrofuturism 101 sweatshirt, which was absolutely insane
Right.
to me.
Well, well,
And I
you
was
you
like,
had sent Fawn one of the T-shirts,
"That's
and
right. Yep, yep." She was my 300th follower on Twitch or 400th. I can't remember
yeah,
what it was, but yeah, she earned it.
and she yeah, that's one of her favorite shirts. She wears it all the time.
I
Yeah.
love it. I appreciate it. I appreciate the support, even though I sent it to her for free. Uh, I was gonna say, so yeah, I walked up to the kid and I was like, "Oh, hey man, nice sweatshirt," and he's like, "Oh yeah, thanks." Blah blah blah, and I introduced myself to him, and he was like, "Oh man, I didn't recognize you without your
That's
sunglasses
funny.
on," and this and that. It was pretty classic, but
I didn't
I mean, the
recognize you in
show's
actual lighting without your costume on.
yeah, right. Not when like half my face covered by a microphone all
Right.
night too. Um, but the show's brought me so many good things. It's yeah, it's been a great 5 years
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
awesome, man. I keep rooting for you. I keep saying, okay, let's keep this shit going. Let's
Thank
take a moment and listen to one of the songs that you sent me.
Sure.
We're gonna start with the Midnight. The song that's the band is the Midnight, and the song is called.
Yeah, the band's The Midnight. They're probably the most popular group in synthwave right now. I picked this track because it's a good example of some really good vocal synthwave. I just close your eyes and the images your brain creates while you listen to the song, I think, are gonna be pretty cool.
See,
So
I no, I see. I never close my eyes because then I'm weak and somebody could sneak up on me. So,
oh no,
all right, here we go. 6.5 minutes.
you don't have.
I'm
to
not
close
going
them.
to. I can't.
Yeah,
I can't.
maybe like halfway through, you could pick a good spot
Yeah.
to fade out. Ooh, I can hear this now, by the way.
Well, yeah, because
Oh wait, yeah, you fixed it before. I'm sorry. A nice long 2-minute intro. You'll feel it when it kicks in, though.
Yeah, it's gonna kick me in the teeth.
Maybe not in the teeth.
It's gonna
Maybe in the neck.
nice little neck punch, like those old A1 commercials. Gonna get it right. Gonna feel it right here. Feel it right here.
We just need a little bit of saxophone here, and
Oh, there's a lot of it in it.
I think what he meant to say was we need a oiled up muscle man with a saxophone to.
We need Tim Capello.
Fucking Tim Capello.
Immediately.
well, I'm gonna ask a question about that in a minute.
All right, you hold on to that question.
City carved a silhouette on the ocean after dark. Over the lonely and the holy and the red blood beating hearts. Up from the dirty black water, the shadow void of form raised itself out of the river, and it climbed upon the shore. Neon on the blacktop, there's a gentle rain downtown. A shadow pooling underneath me as it follows on the ground. Kissed you when I saw you, stared deep into your eyes. I meant to say I love you, but instead I said goodbye.
That's fantastic. I dig it.
It's just the vibe is.
Yeah, it's all about the vibe.
Yeah, the vibe is just, rain-soaked, neon-lit streets of LA. Let's go for a drive. I mean, you can see it in the album art.
Right.
The funny thing about the Midnight was one of my friends suggested me their first album, or their first full length anyway. It's called Endless Summer, and I listened to it and I didn't vibe with it at all.
Yeah.
Because up till then I was mostly listening to instrumental
Right.
synthwave. And then when this EP, the Nocturnal EP, came out, and I listened to it, and it just, really blew my hair back, so to speak. And so I gave the earlier stuff another try, and then it just kind of grew on me from
Yeah,
there.
I've had some bands
there's-
like that for sure.
Yeah, there's a whole. There's battles between people. There's people who will only strictly listen to instrumental synthwave, and then there's others who will only strictly listen to vocal synthwave,
Right.
and they fight each other all the time on the social media. So yeah, it's just a loving place.
It's amazing how it doesn't matter what the fandom is, they're gonna fight over something.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody fights over everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Ridiculous.
So I was just gonna ask, do you know the band Gunship? And
Yeah.
do they
Yep.
do they fit in with, what you do on your show?
Absolutely, yeah. They're also one of the bigger artists of the scene, and I think they're supposed to have a new album coming out this year, I believe, because it's still pretty early, and I know that they have the tracks. I think are finished, and they, believe it or not, do have Tim Capello
Yeah.
guesting as the saxophonist.
Amazing.
Yes.
For a lot of them. So, yeah, Gunship's great. Gunship's one of my favorites for sure.
Several years back,
Mhm.
I discovered the song. I think it was the first song they did with him guesting, "Dark All Day,"
Yeah, that was the first one they did with him. Yep.
and I was like, "This is fucking awesome."
Yeah, it is. Did you see the music video they did for it?
Yes,
Oh,
I did. I
it's
love it.
crazy. Yeah, it's good stuff. He actually Tim played a show out here in Worcester. It was I really wanted to go to it, but this place called Ralph's Rock Diner in Worcester. It was a Lost Boys movie screening, and
Nice.
then he did a live show afterwards.
amazing.
And he was, I saw some videos, and he was shirtless, and he was wearing his cod piece and the whole nine. Man, it was wild.
I have
Still wearing the purple jeans too, wasn't he?
Oh, of course, yeah, you can't go without those. All oiled up like an '80s wrestler.
I've got a T-shirt that's the X-Files, the poster that hangs on Mulder's wall, the I Want to Believe, but instead of a UFO, it's Tim Capello playing saxophone, and it says "I Still Believe." It's amazing.
great.
I should have wore that tonight. I didn't even think about it, but I wanted to wear the most '80s shirt I had, so I wore my my Last Unicorn shirt. You know, because I love me some unicorns.
Was that a Legend reference?
What's that?
You're sure?
No, it's a no.
Last
It's. Do you remember the
Oh, I'm
animated? Yeah, the Last
yeah.
Unicorn.
Okay.
That's okay. So let's go on to I do still want to talk more about synth, but you also do
Sure.
other things as well, and
yeah.
things that vibe really well with this show. You are a avid physical media collector.
I am, yeah, much to the detriment of my wallet. I'm
These
it's the
days,
same way
yeah.
with everybody else that's a physical media collector, but yeah,
Am I? By
Yeah.
nice, awesome. So my main vices, I guess, would be Blu-ray 4K movies, and vinyl records. Those are the two biggest. for
He's
me.
like I want
Same.
the most modern films, but analog audio. And the funny thing is, in my brain, that makes perfect sense. I mean, granted, when I was still actively collecting, it was VHS, but I
which I still dabble
Yeah,
in, by the way. Just a
of
little
course
bit.
I could see. Is that a little? What is that behind you? Is that a stack of Atari games, or is that?
It is, yeah. It's a stack of Atari. I can move my camera just a little bit. That's kind of like my retro living room setup. I've got my CRT
Of course.
TV. I've got my original
Yep.
NES. There's a stack of Atari 2600
Is that a,
games
is that
down
a
there.
is that a VHS rewinder sitting next to it?
It
That's
is
amazing.
a VHS rewinder. My VCR is enclosed in the cabinet down there. It's the exact model that they show at the beginning of that show that I'm sure you probably don't like, the Goldbergs.
I love the Goldbergs. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Never mind.
No, I don't like.
Goldberg
Yeah,
is
Goldbergs
great.
is funny.
I've never watched it.
Oh, no, it's
Um,
funny. I feel like it
Good.
does a really good job of getting the vibe down for that era.
Oh, cool then. Well, then I misread you.
Yeah,
sir.
well, a lot of people do because they don't understand
Yeah.
me. They just think I'm this grump who hates everything, but I love a lot of things.
He
So yeah,
loves a
the
lot in general.
the VCR's back there, the rewinder, and I have a original Sega Genesis and an original Atari 2600.
That's pretty rad, dude.
Yeah, it's a good little setup. That doesn't get nearly enough attention.
No, they never they
the
never
moment.
do. They never get enough.
It looks great.
You know, I have a couple of
Um,
friends who exclusively only watch shit on VHS, and like I can't do that because I want to watch modern movies too.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't have an issue
Sometimes-
with streaming things. Like I get it. You know, like I understand
Yeah.
the appeal of physical media because like you own it, it's there. But
Yeah.
man, like my ADHD is so fucking bad that I can't do one thing at a time. So
Yeah.
you know,
Well, streaming's so convenient.
it
too,
really
man, you
is.
know, like, I can't. Yeah, I don't know. won't
I
go
don't
that way,
I don't
uh,
like the fact that that it limits your options. You know, like when when you're a collector, anything you can get your hands on becomes part of what you can watch. You know, so you
Yeah.
know, so the act of searching becomes, you know, the happiness of that whole process.
Yep.
So when you find the thing that you love and the thing that you want, then there's that joy there. And I mean, I honestly believe that is one of the bigger detriments to the younger generations, is because you know, really it started with the generation right after, I don't want to say after mine, but like the earliest Gen Z. You know what I'm talking about? So like mid 2000s, when you know, or even maybe a little later, like when Netflix decided to stop being a DVD rental company and started being an exclusively streaming company, which was actually a lot more recent than I even, you know, think about. You know, that's when the era of all things at all times, you know, became abundant. And now the act of searching for that thing that you want is dead. It doesn't really happen unless you're an active physical media collector, which, let's face facts, with collectors' prices these days, makes it a very hard thing to do.
Yeah.
It is tough, very tough.
Here's like H in general, because you're a big record collector, and you know, you tend to go for a lot of, you know, variant pressings and colored vinyl and the fancier stuff. How much on average do you think you're paying for each record that you buy?
Well, i- if I happen to buy a record that is just a single disc, which a lot of them are double or
Right.
more, you know, lately, but if I happen to buy one that's just single, I can sometimes get away with about 30.
Right.
But then you know, and this is like including taxes and stuff. But usually for most of like the double albums and the soundtracks, you're gonna be paying 35, 40, maybe
Yeah, that sounds about
sometimes
right.
sometimes more
Yeah,
than
that's
that.
insane to me. That's just absolutely
I
insane
was
to
gonna
me.
I was gonna say, like for a single record, if it's not 180 gram, and if there's just straight black vinyl, maybe like probably like 20 to 25 is 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 the sweet spot for that type of thing. But if it's, you know, audiophile grade, 180 gram, um, you know, colored variant, all that kind of stuff, yeah, you're looking more like 25 to 35 to possibly 40 just for a single. And then the doubles are definitely, yeah, between like 30 and, you know, 60 maybe.
That's wild. So like, I'm taking.
H, do you,
Well, I was
go
going to
ahead,
say,
Mo.
because I was taking a peek through my record collection real quick, which is admittedly sparse compared to either of yours. But I found my most expensive record, and here it is. It's my I know you guys can't see this, but the audience can. I'll tell y'all what it is. It's my 2 LP set of the original motion picture soundtrack for Watts Stacks. Yeah.
Ooh. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds
So, so do you know the record company Stax? They did a lot of funk back in the day.
okay, no.
Yeah, they put out a lot of funk. So think like Isaac Hayes or Bark Hayes and stuff like that. Staple singers. They did a documentary, which was basically just like a concert film of this concert that Stax did in the Watts area of, I believe it's LA. And they put it out as a two disc album, and I paid $8 for this. Whoa. And this is the most expensive record I own.
Yeah, but you had the fortune of, you know, And I did too initially, but I got out of records. Uh, once I got a cassette player back in the day when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
But you had the fortune of, you know, buying the shit back before the prices on everything
Yeah, almost everything I own,
started getting
almost
crazy.
everything I own, I bought back before prices started getting super crazy. You
Yeah.
know, like I think I will admit that my VHS copy of Things I spent $35 on. You know, but that's a
Yeah.
VHS copy of Things, man. I can't not own that. You know.
Yeah. I I think for me the most expensive record that I purchased um was an original pressing of the score for the Terminator.
Nice.
Uh
Nice.
and it was, I think I paid $60 for it on
Mm,
Discogs. So, but everything else has been, yeah, everything else has been in that 20 to probably like $20 to $45 sweet spot, but it's really the, yeah, it's just the same as Blu-rays and 4Ks and stuff like that. It's the boutique label releases
Right.
that really, run
yeah.
the most. So if for vinyl you're like Waxwork Records,
Love them.
um, I can't think of the other one that I'm thinking of right now, but I mean there's so many of them.
I mean, there's Mondo.
Yeah, Mondo,
There's Terror Vision.
TerraVision. Yep, I haven't bought any of
Yeah.
their vinyls, but I've got a couple of their cassettes actually.
Yeah.
Let's see,
I
one way static was bigger back in the
yeah.
day, but
One Way Static was good, but
yep,
they went under.
yeah, um,
See, I feel like I feel like for me with like the price point on things, a lot of it has to do with the fact that that I came up punk rock, man. So like you go
yeah,
to a show and if somebody was charging more than $3 for a 7 inch, you're like, fuck that,
hmm
like
yeah,
man, my entire fucking 7 inch collection is I probably paid $50 total for all of them, and I have significantly
sure,
more 7 inches than I do anything else. Because
yeah,
every fucking punk rock band ever, they're like that was like the fucking holy grail of things to do with your band. Like, whoa, what do you guys? You
yeah.
guys putting out an album? No, we're making a 7 inch. Oh, that's
We're
awesome.
gonna press a split
Yeah, we're
seven
gonna do a
inch.
split 7 inch with the Beer Scouts.
Right, but like speaking of punk rock, that shit is some of the shit that goes for the most.
Now, yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah,
That original shit, like for example, you guys were talking about your most expensive records a minute ago. My most expensive record is an original pressing of Sam Hain's November Coming Fire on Orange.
that's
And
mm,
um,
I paid 200 for that back in 2005.
right.
wow,
How much would that cost now?
Uh, I want to say it's worth like it's hard to say because a couple years ago when everybody had money and nothing better to do with
Right.
it,
yeah,
I watched I watched a copy on eBay sell for $3,500.
yeah.
But
Everything
that's
skyrocketed during COVID.
but that's not really indicative of what it usually goes for. I would say anywhere from 700 to 1,200 is somewhere around what it would go for.
Still pretty good investment.
And
Yeah.
so I dug this out while you guys were chit chatting. It's my split 7 inch of local bands, the Battle Cats and the Beer Scouts of America, because I didn't want you to think that I was just making up a band name. Nope, they were real. They were.
It was not
It
a
was
random
not a random
reference.
reference.
It's
It
a
was a
real
real
one.
reference. Shout out to all the guys in Beer Scouts. Still some of the nicest dudes I ever met. Definitely one of the most fun bands to play with because They were goofy as shit. Did you ever were you ever involved in music, like playing wise, or has it always just been?
No, never. Yeah, never in bands or anything like that. The farthest I went musically was I played the trumpet in like junior high and elementary school. That was about
What?
it.
And
But
you didn't start a ska band?
no, I wish I had though. I wish I had. I've always wanted to learn how to like play the piano and stuff like that. I gave a guitar a try once when I was going through a John Mayer phase,
Ugh.
which was a long time ago. So.
I'm just gonna hit that with a
so-
yikes and just
Yeah,
casually
just
move
you
on.
can mute that person. Didn't we all go through?
No,
it?
I have never gone through a John Mayer phase.
Well, that's too bad for you.
Yeah,
Then.
sorry, my body is not a wonderland.
No. Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, never, never did anything musically. But have always been into music. In the early days, it was my mom and dad's influences. My mom with like 50s and 60s tunes, and my dad with, like classic rock stuff from 60s and 70s. And then my older brother's influence with like Metallica and Pearl Jam and stuff like that. And probably my sister's influence, which led me down like the rap R&B rabbit hole. And then I got real heavy into like the emo kind of like synth, not synth, but pop punk kind of thing when I was in college. And then in 2011, this little movie called Drive came out. And Drive was really the stepping stone for a lot of today's modern synthwave bands. Obviously, synthwave existed before Drive came out, or there wouldn't have been any synthwave songs on the soundtrack. But Drive really just catapulted that music into the stratosphere with regards to inspiring musicians to make stuff that sounded like that. The earliest synthwave artists like Kavinsky and College and groups like that were inspired by John Carpenter and Vangelis and Jan Hammer and Tangerine Dream and stuff like that. And then post Drive, everybody was influenced by Drive. So,
my mom had a great saying growing up, because like my mom and my dad could not have been two different fucking people. I do not know how they ended up together, but my mom always said to me, there are two types of people in this world. There are the people who notice the music and the people who don't. And it makes a lot of sense, because, I mean, maybe it doesn't make a lot of sense to, like, the three of us, because we are all definitely the notice the music type people. But, like, next time you're in a grocery store, pay attention to the people. Because there are going to be those people who are just going to be shopping and going about their business and not paying attention to anything. And then there's going to be those people who are going to be tapping their fingers and bopping their heads, regardless of what music is playing, because there's music on and they're noticing the music. So like me and my mom were always the notice the music type people, but my dad and my sister likes music, but even she'll admit that like she knows her taste in music fucking sucks. But my dad, my dad only ever had one album that I've ever heard him actively listen to, and it's the weirdest fucking thing too. My dad, the only album he ever listened to was the Blues Brothers soundtrack. That was it. And like it was funny because like for 3 years straight for Christmas, that's the only thing he asked for. He's like, I broke my tape of the Blues Brothers soundtrack. I need another one. So every year for Christmas for 3 straight years, we bought him the Blues Brothers soundtrack. And don't get me wrong, that's some great music, some absolutely fantastic, like bluesy whatnot. But You know, like it's for a guy who otherwise would not be paying attention to any fucking music, for that to be like the one thing that he loves was so fucking weird to me. You know, my mom was all over the place. My mom taught me about like Black Sabbath and Deep Purple and fucking Kiss and you know, and Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple. She had a lot of Deep Purple. But then, you know, as she got older, she was introducing me to stuff like Luciano Pavarotti and Mario Lanza and fucking, you know, and Kenny G, you know, who I'm gonna tell you straight up, that guy does not get the credit he fucking deserves. He is a talented motherfucker who can blow that fucking horn. You know, like, yeah, sure, he's not like, his music isn't like energetic and wild and crazy, but the dude's got fucking talent. You know, he's just got stupid hair.
No doubt.
Let's take a break from all this fun and listen and check out this other song you sent me.
Oh yeah. So this was the example that I gave you. Well, this was the song I gave you as an example of some pretty good instrumental synthwave, very inspired by the cyberpunk aesthetic, Blade Runner, you know, all that kind of stuff. It's one of my favorite tracks. Takes a little while. It doesn't take a little.
Well,
while,
here's the best thing, because
really
this is instrumental synth. I can throw it on and we can just talk over it. You know, because why the fuck not?
Yeah, when it hits really good.
You can definitely see, at least from the album art here. Do you want to introduce this track? Because I'm not sure what's what, if I'm being honest. Is the song is Impact Event?
Correct. Yeah, the song is Impact Event. The band is Lukash, if you want to
Lukash.
say it that way, or Lukash.
Lukash.
What have you? I could tell you exactly where they're from in 1 second. Yeah, this song just rips, man. When it rips, it rips. But you can hear it in the music. It's very atmospheric.
Absolutely.
These guys are from Edinburgh, UK.
This might sound weird, but I'm getting some soundtrack from Demons vibes off of this opening melody
Absolutely.
here.
Well, you better watch out, because that movie's going to turn you into a monster.
It's true. I think it already did.
Oh yeah, it turned you into a monster a long time ago. I like that.
Yeah, on their Bandcamp page, it says a fusion of 8-bit chiptune and 80s inspired synth music combined with modern sounds and cyberpunk aesthetics.
See that
I think that captures
yeah,
it pretty well.
that nailed it. This would definitely be my, like, for lack of a better term, meditation music. You know. Not that I ever fucking meditate, but yeah.
A lot of the instrumental stuff like this is, as I'm sure you can probably not be surprised by, is big with guys who program and just sit at their computer all day programming whatever, and they have this stuff on in the background and they feel like they're in the Matrix movie or something.
I fucking get that. I absolutely get that.
It's just, you know, it's the vibe. That's what it's all about, dude. It's all about the vibe. Yeah. And I grew up a big fan of the John Carpenter films, as you know, Mo, because we've talked about movies more than anything else probably in our years. But you know, those 80s science fiction and horror synth scores are really is really in the DNA of the synthwave genre.
For sure. I don't think anybody did it better than Carpenter. You know.
Yeah.
No one.
No.
I love me a John Carpenter score.
Yep. Do you have a favorite, H?
My favorite, let me let me think about that. I'm gonna say it's probably Big Trouble in Little China or They Live.
Okay. Mine is Halloween 3, actually.
I love that.
I love that score. I love it.
I don't own that one actually.
Ooh, yeah, it's a good one. I
I
know
need
that Mondo repressed it. Oh wait, yeah, Mondo repressed it. I can't remember which one I have. I may have the earlier one that Death Waltz put out.
Silver Shamrock.
Yeah. Speaking of chiptunes, I actually just earlier today saw that a company had put out, or is putting out, the soundtrack to
Ooh.
Splatterhouse,
Oh, sweet.
and so I ordered that.
That's cool. If you guys want to hear some really good chiptune stuff, one of my favorite artists is this guy named Watch Out for Snakes. He's based out of Atlanta. I would say I'm trying to see what Mo's looking up right now. Fight Those Invisible Ninjas, the music video. Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's a good track.
All right.
He came out and played a live show for me actually last year at a barcade out here in Worcester.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's super talented.
This song will start at some point.
Yeah, his live show is really cool, really energetic and stuff. He has his audio, like whatever that piece of equipment is embedded into an old Nintendo.
Guitar.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Anyone who plays a guitar these days truly gives no fuck.
I feel like a lot of synthwave is created by nerds who have a good aesthetic.
Absolutely.
You know, that's why I listen to Adam and his package, because he's a fucking nerd with no aesthetic. I don't know if you're familiar with his work or not, but it's.
I've heard of him, but I don't think I've ever.
Oh my god, he's fantastic, and I love his music. It's just a guy with a sequencer, and every now and again he'll break out a guitar for songs, but it's just usually just him.
Cover of Where Eagles
Yeah,
Dare.
he did a pretty amazing cover of Where Eagles Dare, but he also has this ridiculously high pitched voice, and like
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those things that I've played for a lot of people before, like, oh, you need to listen to this, it's so fucking good, and then like they'll start listening to it, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I kind of dig this, and he'll start singing, and they're like, oh no, shut this off, I can't. You know.
Wow.
Maybe I'll play like 3 seconds of one of his songs after this, but it's hard. It's hard music to listen to if you're not already into that kind of weird shit. And I thrive on that weird shit, so.
He sounds like his voice has been pitched up about 3 times higher than what it should.
And I've seen him live, so I can tell you it has not.
It's actually
that way. Although he does sing lower live, but I mean he's jumping all over the place, so kind of hard to maintain that level of falsetto. Yeah, I'm definitely digging the shit out of this.
Yeah, it's cool. He's got 3 albums out. They're all on Bandcamp, and they're all great.
Have you ever heard of Mos Giganticus?
No.
So, I don't know if he's still active or not. It's the same kind of idea. It's like Mos Giganticus is Adam and his package, but taken seriously. You know, he's got a full band, but he runs shit through a sequencer, and it's very synth driven, but it's like synth driven hardcore, if that makes sense. You know, very violent vocals, and you know, I would suggest giving that a peek if
Cool. Yeah, I just followed him on
Yeah.
Bandcamp. So
I have video that I took of him when he. So I don't know how familiar you are with record stores in Connecticut or not, but there's a place in Wallingford. I think it's Wallingford, called Red Scroll Records,
I think I might know this.
and
place.
they put on shows there every now and again, but they do them in the basement, and their basement is like a dirt floor, basically. Like, for lack of a better term, it's a fucking crawl space. You know, like it's there shouldn't be people down there, let alone putting on shows. And yeah, I saw him and my buddy's band Garbage Barge, who are hilarious, play there once, and I snapped some video. It was fucking crazy. It was an echo chamber, so you couldn't fucking really hear anything. Like, so if you didn't know the songs, if this was your first time experiencing this band, you would have no idea what the fuck was going on, because everything was so fucking loud. Oh, it was awesome though.
Is that so? That store, does it have a bunch of old cars like out in the yard around?
It doesn't have a. It's not the same place you're thinking of. Yeah, this.
Okay. Do you know the place? I'm
I
talking about?
don't off the top of my head, but
I can't remember where it is.
no, Red Scroll is in like a little like strip mall, basically.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's see here. Adam. You know what's really funny is that this entire episode, just to give a little insight into my actual life, this entire episode is basically like anytime me and H hang out, this is what we do.
It
Like
really
we
is.
like we
That's
just
good.
we go down these fucking
Casual.
rabbit holes of sometimes music, sometimes old wrestling, you know.
Nice.
All right, here we go. You're gonna love this.
Yeah.
This got to get turned up.
Yep. I've definitely heard of these guys before. Yeah.
You think they'd really care?
That's
This is real voice.
No way. That's funny. Sounds like a chipmunk.
It's yes.
It's great.
Let's see.
So what category would you put them into?
I call him straight fucking punk rock, man. It's all about attitude.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Well,
so.
that's a Misfits cover, so I mean, let's see. This is probably his most famous song. Actually, it's probably not anymore, but this was when I was getting to know him.
I was fighting the mold in the bowl with my pee when a flop.
This is a song called Punk Rock Academy.
If all was hated, I when I was in high school that I attended the Punk Rock Academy. Christianity
Anyway, I'm not gonna force you to listen to the rest of that, but yeah, his voice is something. It really is something. And let's just close it out with a little. No, I should spell it right.
I got a little something for you to well, it's not music, but maybe we can play a movie trailer. It was a movie that I was involved
Yeah,
with.
absolutely.
A little plug, the final plug.
Oh, he got signed to Relapse. Good for him.
Os Giganticus.
Sorry. You know, the funny thing is, I think this was filmed in the Red Scroll basement. I mean, it maybe not, but man, this looks a lot like that.
Looks like it could have been, maybe.
Wow.
I feel like this sounds like something that would have been on like a the Clerks or Mallrats soundtrack or something for some reason.
I can dig that.
Yeah.
I don't even know if that's necessarily like the best, you know, like he, yeah, that's my favorite song of theirs. There we go. This is more what I'm talking about, like with, like that's all programmed synth stuff in the background.
Oh wow, okay, yeah.
This show's gonna get demonetized so fast.
Well.
Whatever. Anyway, that gives you an idea of what I'm talking about. They're good. He's super intense. Like I was happy to be able to see him live. You know.
Yeah.
Which I haven't been to a live show in 5 years. Many moons. Well, you know, where I'm at now, and I try not to advertise that too much, but where I'm at now, because, you know, I'm no longer in the punk rock cultural hub that is Connecticut, believe it or not. You know, like the only thing you can find where I am is like Christian rock bands and like country and cover bands. And it's like, boy, do I have no interest in seeing any of that. You know, like I see punk rock kids walking around all the time, and like I want to stop them and be like, hey, where do you guys play local shows? Because, you know, but the last time I did that, they literally said to me like, oh, we play them down at the Crab House down the street. I'm like, oh, no, I don't want to go to a punk rock show at a Crab House. I'd go to a punk rock show at a Denny's, but you know.
Yeah.
What the fuck is up, Denny's?
I don't know. We'll talk off the air, but I can't remember exactly where you are, but I'll send you. There's something going on that is from my realm, down there, but I'm not sure if you're near it or not. So I'll tell you after
we shall see. All right. So what is the?
Oh yeah. So just a couple things, I guess, before we finish up. You can get at me on social media at mnight. I've got another live event coming up in August. It's on August 19th. Tickets are going to go on sale on May 1st, and we've got 5 synthwave artists that'll be performing live. It's at Roller Kingdom in Hudson, Massachusetts. Nice. Synthwave Skate Night 2 is what we're calling it. And I will announce the artists that last week of April leading up to ticket sales.
Nice.
And I guess this last little bit, we'll play a trailer. I'll tell Mo what it is, and he'll pull it up. I was the music supervisor for a very, very micro-budget neo-noir LA crime thriller that came out in theaters, a very minimal amount of theaters over like a few weeks ago, but it's streaming for rent. You can rent it on Vudu, Amazon, Google play in iTunes. It is called The Last Deal. So if you go on YouTube and look The Last Deal trailer, whichever one is the newest one that pops up, that would be the one that I would play. But I helped select some of the songs that were used in the film.
All right.
We're trying to get more eyes on it because the writer director is also the marketing person and the social media person, and he's doing it all. So it's been hard to get more eyes on it, but it's been doing pretty good. It actually got picked up. The New York Times wrote a little snippet about it in an article called it was like 5 action movies that are streaming right now, and it was listed as one of the 5. So that was a big get for us.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
All right. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do a little movie magic here.
Oh yeah.
And see if I can get this. No, I can't. Damn. Well,
Would I be able to do it if I? No, I probably wouldn't be able to do it if I shared my
probably
screen.
not.
Yeah.
That's okay though. I'll make it work.
Mhm.
I'm gonna figure out how to make this work.
Cool. I should have mentioned it to you before
It's
we went
okay.
on. Could have tested it.
We want to turn to the historic night.
Oh, yeah,
here
this
in
is it. Awesome.
California. What affects you the most?
Voters legalize the recreational use of marijuana. Here's a look at the Prop 64 results.
We're shutting down the business at the end of the summer. I ran the numbers.
We can sell you 200 pounds. We don't really do anything less than that.
Yeah, it's just a big chunk of change.
Well, maybe you're in the wrong business then.
No, I don't think that's the case.
And you're here to borrow some money, yeah?
Yeah. Maybe we can go talk about this in private.
You're amongst friends here. I'm gonna need some sort of reassurance or collateral, just in case you can't pay me back.
We're good for it.
But I don't know you. Him, I unfortunately know.
Plus, Vince, you don't want to mess with these dudes.
What other choice do we have? Let the place go broke?
I mean, it ain't gotta be like that.
But it is. I see these people living their lives. Nice family, good homes, good jobs. I want that.
You have 5 days. Find the guys, find your partner. You understand?
Tired of walking around in fear.
Hey, man, the weed's gone.
You've done it all, baby. There's nothing left to prove.
Just a little film. They filmed it during the height of the pandemic, micro budget. It was done completely guerrilla, no shooting permits or anything like that. The cast is mostly made up of guys that were stuntmen. The lead actor, Anthony Molinari, has been a stunt guy and has had bit parts in a lot of movies like Everything Everywhere All at Once and The Fighter and Black Mass. A lot of movies that filmed in Boston. I don't know if you could tell by the accent, but yeah, he's from Massachusetts.
What? He's from Massachusetts?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
never would have figured that out.
Yep. But yeah, just just a cool little 90-minute little action
Yeah,
thriller
man, that looks awesome.
about a black market cannabis dealer that gets squeezed out of the business when marijuana becomes.
I was gonna say, where is this supposed to be taking place? Because
yeah,
like
it's in LA.
there's plenty of places now that it's legal.
Yeah.
I wish there were more places where it was legal. I think that's a great place to wrap up. I think we covered most of the bases, but I'm sure we have other things we could chit chat about. And
Hey, I'll come back anytime.
absolutely. On that note, this has been Mo. With me is H. And the man, the myth, the legend. Said it once, I'll say it twice. Mr. Michael Knight, Retrofuturism 101. Streaming live on Twitch Fridays. What time?
8 p.m. Eastern
And then
time.
it also streams somewhere else too. And I'm not.
Yeah, it simulcasts on Uncertain FM, which is a Boston-based internet radio station.
There you go. So if you're in the Boston area, you want to go park your car, you know.
Well, you can listen to it anywhere.
Yeah, but I know, but it gave me an excuse. It gave me an excuse. And
Sorry, man. I'm messing up with your
I
mojo.
don't got a fucking mojo. You kidding me? All right, everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure, and we will see you on the flippity flip.
Thanks, guys.
See you, nerds.